Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Shukel's back again.
Is this like a
He's always gonna be here. So
for a while until Sham leaves me.
no, you come to me.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
Does the vegan healing diet work for everyone?
I think the short answer is yes. However, there are some caveats as to when you need to be careful in certain circumstances, whether you go on it straight away or whether you take your time to avoid detoxifying too quickly in certain situations.
Yes,
Okay.
and we've had a lot of YouTube comments, asking that specific question of, what should I do if the vegan healing diet is not optimal, or
For that particular point in that person's journey.
yeah. So if that's not gonna work as well, what to do next, and what
Let's just take a step back, because what we need to try and explain is in which situations it might be
yes, correct, yeah. beneficial if they
to
transition.
Yeah, do a transition. Okay, so you need, if you want to heal, at some point you need to be on the vegan healing diet, because that's going to allow you to detoxify completely. However, in certain situations, it can be beneficial to maybe take a slower approach and do some other things before you go into the vegan.
The body is
diet.
still going to be healing.
Correct.
So it's not that it's not going to be healing. It just means that it's a little bit more comfortable in the way that in the way your process is, or in the way your healing journey is. So
yeah, absolutely. So if we just go through some of the scenarios where you might want to take it a bit slower. Okay.
yeah,
So the first one, immunosuppressant medication.
yeah. If you've been taking those, then it's probably a good idea not to go onto the healing diet straight away.
Yeah.
And that's where guidance is really important as well, because sometimes you don't really know what to do. I mean, David Klein's book is amazing and has a lot of amazing information in it, but obviously when you know, when someone's been through what you're going to go through, it's always better to have someone there, and that's why we provide this service, and that's why we actually love to do what we do as well.
Yeah.
So immunosuppressants,
Some of the things that, well, the first thing about immunosuppressant medication is that it's really, really toxic, okay? It does things to the body that you can't even explain sometimes. It is so bad for you. I think anybody or everybody should avoid this stuff at all costs, okay?
biologics,
Biologics, immunosuppressant, anything that's going to, shut down... I don't really like the word immuno, but anyway, that's what they call it. But anything that's going to shut down your body's defense system is not good. And, obviously it has some pretty nasty side effects, one of them being cancer, right?
Oh, skin cancer. Oh, there's a lot of side effects. Yeah.
And you can do your own research on that. We don't need to go through it here today. But
So yeah, if you're on immunos, highly recommend you transition. And the transition process would be something like a smoothie for breakfast, and then a whole food plant-based meal for lunch and dinner. Okay, so that's something that you want to work out yourself. A couple of links down in the comment section below. I'll post it on the description below. I'll post some of the links where you can find some recipes. But again, as I said before, it's always important to get the guidance, because then you know what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
and
Because it's hard to do it by yourself when you don't know, okay, at what point should I come off the transition? How do I know I'm doing it right? Am I eating enough? There's so many different things that I need to be careful about.
So another couple of reasons?
Yeah, so the length of time that you've been, have had issues with your digestion, like colitis or Crohn's or any type of IBD, the length of time can also dictate taking it a bit easier, because you could be a lot more toxic than someone who's maybe just been diagnosed. Well, you definitely are a lot more toxic than someone who's just been diagnosed.
Yeah, because you may have been taking medication on
Yes.
top of those years of having digestive issues. So, and also,
And especially, sorry, I'll just cut you off there, especially if you haven't done anything over those years to try and do any type of detoxification. I've had a couple of clients who've actually had it for a long period of time, but over those years they've kind of simplified their diet and made it a bit easier, and detoxified a little bit before joining the program, and that made their whole approach a lot easier. But if you haven't done anything over that time, you've just been following the standard advice, it's not necessarily the best thing to go straight into
the healing
diet.
And juice feasting for that matter as well. So that's also something to take note of. Also, just like to add, if you've had it for a very long time, and if you've had flare-ups during that time, flare-ups are actually your body detoxifying. So you may not actually go through a fast detox when you do go onto the healing diet. That's why it's really important to get the guidance again, because we don't know your situation. So it's important to have that 1 week of support to see how you're going, and then maybe adjust to what you need specifically. So if you've had flare-ups, then there may be a good chance that your body will not detoxify in a rapid state. We never know, but sometimes.
And for some people, like, they have a delayed effect, so they can go on a detoxification diet, and there might be something that's in their body, or the body doesn't have enough energy, and so it takes time. Like, maybe it takes a few weeks before the detoxification happens, and then all of a sudden, you've got something happening. So, you have to understand what you're doing, because it's a serious condition, man. Like, you can't just take it lightly. It's not a game. You're playing. You're not just playing a game.
And also, diet doesn't have. It's not the end all. Okay, so you can go on any kind of diet you want. Yeah. It's not necessarily going to work, because your mind has a lot to do with it as well. And I've always talked about this as well. So any kind of diet that you go on, whether it's high raw, fruit based, whatever, it gives you one of the best chances for healing the disease. But if your mind is not in the right place, it's going to be very hard to heal.
Exactly. So you got your physical healing, which is the food that you eat, the water that you drink, the sleep that you get, and that plays a really significant role. You cannot discount that. But you also have to make sure that your body and your mind are working together in the same direction. You can't just say, oh, Shamit said the mind has a huge role to play with this, so I won't bother. I'll just keep eating what I do, and I'll focus my mind. But that's not going to necessarily work either. So you need to focus both your body and your mind in the same direction.
Yeah. Cool. And so, is any other reasons why someone should transition? I think we've got immunos. We've got long-term medication use as well. We've got long-term digestive issues.
Yes.
What else?
I think those are the main ones. Those are the main ones. And what you need to be aware of is that once you can transition for a bit and your body stabilizes, then the healing diet can be very effective.
Yes.
And it will be very effective, because as I said to you before, you must go on it if you want to fully detoxify and fully heal. You can't just expect to be on transition, stabilize a little bit, and then just carry on. You must go on the healing diet at some point in your journey, because that is the best way to heal it.
And also,
in the end.
And also, the healing diet, it's not only just for healing, like even after.
Oh yeah.
For example, again, he does the healing diet, even though he doesn't have colitis, because it just that diet specifically is really good for your health. Period. So if you can get from a disease state to a ease state, so a non-disease state, if that diet can do that for you, then how amazing is that diet? So why wouldn't you continue to do that as well? And that's why I always say, again, be consistent. If you can get a chance to juice and do that, then by all means do it, because it's going to give you some good nutrients. Celery, apple, lettuce is the best supplement. It's if you're gonna look at supplements, celery, cucumber, lettuce, apple, that juice is really good for supplementation.
I mean, that's a whole nother video, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a whole nother video.
Maybe we need to discuss that on the next one. Yeah. If you want us to talk about supplements, please let us know in the comments, because
anything for that matter. If you have any ideas, and if you want us to share our opinion on that subject, post that in the comments below. And as I said before, so it will be a smoothie in the morning for the transition phase, and a whole food plant-based dinner. If that doesn't work, then we would definitely put you on the healing diet to get you through that detox process, because it does, again, that also has a drawback. And again, that's why it's very important for us to work with someone so that we actually know and understand fully what's going on with your body, and that's what we'll be monitoring.
Even in some cases, if the detoxification is too severe, people can benefit from taking medication for short doses. Yeah, for sure. So, for example, if you're really just mentally struggling and physically struggling, sometimes it is good to get some medical assistance, and that can be like an IV drip.
That can be a small dose of prednisone maybe, just to restabilize the body. Okay, so the body sometimes gets too fast into healing. It loves to heal. It always wants you to be in the purest state as possible. So once you flick that switch, it doesn't like to stop.
Yeah.
So we have to try and find different ways of slowing it down, and medication can be an option. It's the last resort for sure, and we don't recommend it until the last resort.
It's only for emergencies.
It's only for emergency purposes. You don't want to take medication for the rest of your life, because you're just going to be constantly retoxifying the body by doing that. You're going to suppress your body from healing. It's only for emergency purposes, okay? So
yeah, and so you can stabilize your body, you get your appetite back, you can get some good nutrition in while you taper down, and then you can then go to the healing diet once your body's stable.
Yeah,
so,
and that's a process in itself as well. So it's not something that you want to try and do by yourself. We've had a little bit of experience with that. So it is important to understand that when you are in that state, you get the help that you need, and then you can rebuild your body again. And that's where it's really important to make sure you do exactly the right things to get your body back into a nice zone of healing. So,
all right. So we do a recap. The vegan healing diet, does it work for everyone? Yes, it does. However, you need to be aware of certain situations where it might be beneficial to take your time before you go into the healing diet. Obviously, as we said, the first one, immunosuppressant medication. If you've been taking that, you want to be very, very careful of it about how you approach this problem. And secondly, if you have had this for a long time or been taking medication for a long time, you should also be very, very, very cautious about how you attempt to go through the healing process. And we would say, especially in those situations, you definitely need to get guidance. If you had it for a bit less, you can maybe try it by yourself, but obviously it's a very serious condition that we're dealing with. So even if you've had it for a short period of time, by working with someone, you can avoid some of the mistakes.
Yeah, well, I guess, for me as well, I would have loved to have someone talking about the subject and the detail that we talk about, and in our experiences, sharing our opinions. That would have been awesome for me while I was healing. Unfortunately, I didn't have that, which is fine. And obviously, I did make my mistakes, and I had to go through it the hard way. But that's the way that the cookie crumbles. I would do it all again if I had to, in a heartbeat, because I know what it feels like in this position right now, talking to you about not having ulcerative colitis.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would do it all again in a heartbeat, because I know how awesome it feels. So yeah, I guess give this video a like if you thought it was helpful. If you have any questions, concerns, if you have any comments, if you want us to talk about anything else, please post it down in the comments below. We'll be happy to answer them and make videos on those questions. So please please post down below.
For sure, and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more videos or more of me, since I've been making all these guest appearances recently. And thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.